Always live and always wild. Welcome everyone to the Africam Show. I'm so glad to be with you all. And we have one final hurrah before the year is up. It's our final show, final time we get to spend together before the end of 2022. And we look forward to a fantastic, huge, it's going to be amazing 2023 with all of you. And to start us off, we have some wonderful Ellies. Now, I think that's a fantastic way to start our last show because elephants are one of my favorites. I always say it's so hard to pick favorites. I think the more you spend time out in nature, the harder it becomes because you start to understand every, not just animal, every little bit. You start to understand the role that they play, whether it's soil, whether it's waterbuck, impala, elephants, predators, leaves, grass. Oh, we've got some baboons as well. Whatever it is, they all kind of become favorites because you learn to understand about their role. And of course, they all end up cute at some point. Anyway, we are live and interactive, so send through your questions and your comments, everybody. I love to hear from you. We've already got a few. Aussie Jan 2 says, good afternoon. And you're taking the opportunity to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. And of course, your coffee is at hand. Nice, Aussie Jan. Thank you so much. A Merry Christmas to all of you and a happy, this whole festive season, a happy end of year. It's starting to just kind of all come together. Suddenly it feels that it's that festive season. Dear NC, you say good morning to Charlotte and everyone from a snowy Seattle. Oh, a white Christmas up in Seattle. And then we've got, Halkin Taylors, you say there's nice videos showing before the show starts. They are pretty cool, huh? I especially like the leopard sawing. And then Emton65, you say good morning. And then we have Amber Co, of course, it says you thank everyone at explore.org and Africam for these shows. And you appreciate us as well, your presenters that make this learning opportunity so interesting and fun. You're wishing all a day of many smiles. Thank you so much, Amber Co. It's there's a nice feeling at the end of the year. There really is. My parents are around. I haven't seen them in a long, long time. They just landed in the country today. Well, I haven't seen them, but over 2 years with COVID and all of that. So I'm very excited. But I'll only see them in about 10 days. Now, I love what we're looking at right here. Everyone, so we were talking, in fact, at the beginning about me and how I can't choose favorites. And it's this scene perfectly illustrates that. Here we have waterbuck that are busy grazing, doing their thing. Very young waterbuck, in fact. You can see the horns are quite small. And they're picking at the juicy grasses that are around at this time of year. And then we've got the impala, it's a small bachelor herd at the back. They're also looking at the grass, but they are browsing a little bit as well. There's a little lamb. What looks like a small lamb might just be a young male. Just can't see the horns behind there too. So everyone has taken a portion of this environment and is taking advantage of that. So we have in the foreground these waterbuck. Oh, we can also hear some hippos. And then in the background, the impala that are browsing, cleaning themselves. The impalas have loose incisor teeth. So you see them doing this kind of scraping off the back quite often. And that's when they employ the incisor teeth in the front that are loose to act like combs. And then they comb through their hair. And then on the right, we had some baboons that were chilling as well. So lots going on just in this one scene. And that's besides, of course, all the growth that's happening. There's the little flowers starting to come up, grass, different species of grass, different species of trees, plants, shrubs, all popping up as well. So much is going on. And that's why I love summer. It's a time of abundance. I've said this to you so many times. It's a time of abundance in the bush. Oh, we've got some Egyptian geese as well. Excuse me. I find that there are many more scenes like this in the summer when resources are abundant, because competition is reduced so much. So you see a lot more of this kind of cooperation, and not just with herbivores. You see it with carnivores as well. Yeah, I've seen a leopard share, I'm putting my hands up in inverted commas, share a kill with a hyena before. And obviously, it's not something any predator wants to do, is to share their kill, but when things are abundant, the motivation to defend something and then put yourself at risk, that motivation is so much lower because you are fed and you know that there's more food around. So you can see some really crazy things at this time of year. Leslie S. Stark, hello. You say hello from a snowy Michigan. Hello, hello. Bob from Kalamazoo says, good day, Trishana, from a very chilly Kalamazoo, and a Merry Christmas to all. Thomas Bing, you say hello from Orangeville, Ontario, Canada. Yay, and we've got Suki V, says hello from the UK. It's -6 yesterday, and today it's at least 12 degrees. Positive 12, that is. And over here in Cape Town, it's probably about 25 degrees Celsius or so. Pretty warm. But up in the Lowveld, where the majority of our cameras are, it's going to be substantially warmer. I would say, around 28 degrees Celsius there. And that's now when it's starting to cool down. Earlier in the day, it would probably be much warmer. Sarah from Kazakhstan. Hi, Sarah. You say, hello, everyone. A huge thank you to Africam for keeping you sane while on contract far away from home. And that Sarah hopes that we all have a wonderful Christmas and a bright 2023. That was lovely. Thank you. We're so glad that we're able to keep you company and keep you sane. That's one of the really beautiful pleasures of doing stuff like this, is that I know that I'm facilitating joy to people so that they can enjoy the bush as much as I do. These two bulls here. So there's the older bull with the quite large horns. Doesn't seem very old though. His horns are still quite close together, so he might just matured. But he's now pushing around this younger bull whose horns are quite small. This is totally playful behavior. Maybe playful is the wrong word. I'm trying to imply that it's not aggressive. But instinctual is probably a better word. Learning how to place your head down, where to push is very important. And this youngster is learning that right now. There we have the baboons in the background. Just kind of taking it in. Them too, they're just doing their own thing. And it's interesting because baboons are an interesting feature, should I say, of the scene. And that's because they actually would take impala calves or impala lambs. There have been instances where baboons, they don't strategically hunt for impala lambs, but they may and have killed and consumed impala lambs. So the fact that they're existing in this way, and often do exist with other herbivores, is an interesting thing, because you would think that herbivores would have learned that maybe they're a danger, a threat. But I suppose it happens so infrequently that that's not the type of behavior that's considered a threat. Oh, wonderful. Here at Tao, there's a beautiful big Ellie bull. Good day to you, sir. Thank you for coming and joining us. You know how much I love you guys. Cassie Campbell, you say hi from Florida. Hello. And then we've got Denise Herman Dana, who says a cold 23 degrees Fahrenheit in Philadelphia. Lots and lots of chilly weather up in the northern hemisphere. I must say I'm quite enjoying being where I am at this time. Although I am yet to see proper snow, I must say. So I'm a little bit envious of the white Christmas that you guys will be experiencing. I can't see what these yellow flowers are, but again, at this time of the year, there'll be lots and lots of flowers around. Lots of insects emerging. The bush comes alive in a different kind of way at night during the summer. Many insects, bats. The sounds of cicadas just kind of, almost sounds as if they're shaking trees. It's so intense. And the abundance of the insects are linked to, in fact, the abundance of the flowers. But it really is a chicken and egg story because their evolution is so closely intertwined that we're not sure who followed who to begin with. The flowers followed the insects or the insects the flowers. Either way, this Ellie bull really doesn't care. All it cares about is the juicy grass and the leaves and the flowers themselves, which it would eat. Look at how, if we look at this impala, that ram that's right in front of us, walking past, look at how tall these, I'm actually sure, not sure what it is. I'm not sure if it's grass or some kind of sedge. But the plant that's walking through is really dense and tall. You can't see its hooves at all. Mike Lenz, hi, you say it's possible training when it comes to those two bulls. And you're talking about the water bucks? Yep. Well, I mean, it's practice, certainly, but it's not organized in any way, if that makes sense. So it is practice for that younger bull, or training, like you said, but it's something that happens quite instinctually. So a younger bull doesn't say, think, oh, here's an older bull, and let me try on him. It's kind of something that happens instinctually. But you are certainly right that that's what's happening. There is training or practice happening. It's just how conscious they are of it is, it's always questionable when it comes to consciousness or thought. Hi, Kaz Omen. You say hello from SAST, Canada. It's great that there's some commentary today. Yep. So on Tuesdays, you've joined us for the commentary for the last one of the year, but on Tuesdays, for this half an hour, we have some commentary. And my name is Trishala. I'm a guide, a naturalist. I'm South African. So this is home for me. Of course, I don't live in the bush, but at least not anymore. But these animals are very familiar to me. So sometimes it's not me, sometimes it's someone else, but it'll always be a qualified guide who has experience with these animals and a lot of knowledge that will sit with you on Tuesdays at this time. So be sure to join us again next year when we start up again. All of them, these animals look so, so relaxed. What a pleasure. Is that an Egyptian goose walking through there? Very likely, considering their abundance. Beautiful. I remember, a couple months ago, okay, a little more than a couple months ago, 6 months ago, Tao was so dry. We could see the white clay soil so, so well, so clearly. The bushes were gray, and now the rains have come, and it's just bursting. Green all around, in so many different shades of green. Hi, never too late. You sound so excited. I too am getting excited now by all your exclamation marks. You say hello, Trishala Naidu. Hello to you. Hello to you. Thank you for joining us, never too late. You sound so excited. You're making me excited. Kaz Omen, you say you wish you could trade places with one of these animals. It's 30. Oh, minus 31? Oh my goodness. Oh, I feel very, very bad for you. Of course, I understand that you've chosen to live in such a place where minus 31 is even a possibility. I'm sorry. Um, and I'm sure it's beautiful, but that sounds a bit chilly. And you say it's minus 43 with the wind. Oh, that sounds awful. Beautiful, but awful. I hope that you're staying indoors. As for me, like I said a little bit earlier, it's about 25 degrees Celsius. So pretty warm, and it's only gonna get warmer. Look at this guy. I've said this to you many times, I love elephants very much. And one thing that is wonderful about having these cams is that you're not actually there. You know, there's no actual human presence here. So it feels a little like Big Brother. You know, like we're just spying on the animals. But also it adds a really nice element of allowing the animal to be very relaxed. Now, this elephant is very, very, very relaxed. His tail is swinging. It's limp. It's not stiff at all. He's walking very slowly. His ears are flapping. His eyelids are lowered. Those are all telling me that he's very relaxed. Well, until he maybe gets irritated by these repeats, but otherwise, he seems very relaxed. And in the vehicle, when we're with elephants in person, that's something that we can try to create too, depending on the way that we as guides behave. Elephants can be very, very, very relaxed. But I find with the cams, they're very relaxed a lot of the time. And it kind of reveals something else about elephants. Something that you can actually see. So yes, we often hear that, oh, elephants are very wise, they have great memory, things like that. But it's just things that you hear. But when an elephant is very relaxed, you get to see that. You get to see the purpose with which they move. Nothing is just, there's no flailing, there's no, when they get excited even, everything is very purposeful. Nothing's just, done for nothing. So they don't just wildly move around. And that kind of, it's so purposeful. They move with such sagacity. And that's when you kind of see the wisdom part of elephants shine through. This thing you've heard about through folktales, it shine through. And it's something you don't get the opportunity to see as much when you're in the vehicle, especially not when you're jumping from sighting to sighting with guests, which is why I don't like taking guests. I love going on game drive on my own because then I can spend an hour with the elephants if I want, or with a predator if I want. And it's not just about collecting the sightings. Leslie S. Stark, you say hashtag Merry Christmas 2022. How very, what you call that? Hashtag usage. How very hip and happening. That comment. Denise Herman Dana, you say glad you're coming back in 2023. Yes, most definitely. I have an Africam family now, and I could never leave them hanging. I will see you again in 2023. Michelle van Loosel, I hope I said that correctly. You say hello from a snowy Switzerland. Oh, that sounds so wonderful. It sounds like very much a kind of winter wonderland going on there. You say thank you for your commentary. My absolute pleasure. I love spending this time with all of you. Pat Duvall, you say it must be easier for lions to stalk in tall grass like this. Absolutely. You know, it would be easier for them to stalk in more cover, so it's a great advantage. And apart from that, there's abundance, so it would be easier for them to stalk. It also makes it a lot more difficult for us to spot animals, particularly predators who are going to use this extra cover to their advantage. But you are 100% right. It is easier for them to stalk. And it's also something for you all to look out for on the cams. Maybe you see, just a little head pop up or a couple ears. You kind of have to keep a look everywhere in the frame that you're watching, because there will be instances where there could be a lion right there and you are not able to tell because there's just one ear showing or something like that. And I think a lot of the time we don't even see the majority of kills because they happen in such dense cover. Denise Hermandana, you want to know, do you usually see more animals in the dry season or wet season? That actually lends very well to what we were just chatting about. So, in the dry season, sightings can be a lot more reliable. So, it's the dry season. So, dry season up in the Lowveld where these cams are situated, parts of South Africa, rainfall happens in the summer. And in the winter, that's our dry period. So in the winter, it's very dry, but there are waterholes and dams. So when there are waterholes and dams, you could, take your game drive vehicle, park at a waterhole, and you can be fairly confident that there's going to be a number of animals that will come down to drink, because that will be the only reliable water source. Now, apart from that, the bush is a lot more sparse, far easier to spot animals. Apart from just being sparse, oh, we've got some springbok and some hartebeest. Oh, this is great. So apart from just there being less foliage, which allows you to spot animals better, less foliage also means less shadow and less density, so that allows you to spot animals a lot better. So in the winter, it can be easier, so dry season, winter, it can be easier to find animals. The thing is, in the summer, the bush is stunning. There's a lot more babies around. There's a lot more incredible sightings of multiple animals. The summer is when you get these ridiculous sightings of like a leopard jumping on an impala, and then there's a lion, and it chases leopard up a tree. Those kinds of things, you see that in the summer. So it's always a toss-up between, what looks most beautiful and most exciting, but not as reliable. And of course, winter, dry season, wet sightings are more reliable, more predictable, and of course easier to find. Oh, it's nice to see some springbok and some hartebeest. So they exist in a habitat that's quite different from what we've been looking at. The elephants, the impala not so much, kudu not so much, but springbok and the red hartebeest, they prefer areas that are much, much drier and hotter. In fact, there's records of springboks. Springboks have really efficient kidneys. That is a very strange sentence to just come out of nowhere. but they do have super efficient kidneys, which allows them to be very, very careful with their moisture retention. And there are records, in fact, of springbok that have never gone to a water hole and drank water before. That's how efficient their bodies and their kidneys are. Denise Hermandani, you say thank you. You thought it might be the dry season due to the less cover. Yeah, you are right. It's far more predictable in the dry season. But it's just so beautiful in the wet season. And then so many babies, so many flowers, all those wonderful things. Michelle von Losel, you'd like to know what my favorite animal to see on the cam is. I do love seeing elephants. I think that when we're doing these live Africam shows on a Tuesday, the favorite sighting I've had, oh gosh, I can't say. I think it was last week that we saw the lion just pop up her head amongst the elephants that were drinking water. I think that was quite epic. Yeah, I would say that would be my favorite. But these cams have caught such amazing things, like absolutely stunning. Such interesting behaviors. Also, they're on 24/7. They have an infrared capability, so we can see everything that's happening at and it's like that for 365 days a year. So we really get to capture some amazing, amazing things on these cams. It's so wonderful to be part of this because me as a biologist, I get to learn more. I get to see things that are happening outside of my textbooks, and I get to do that remotely, which is always a plus. It's hard to travel around a lot. So I'm very, very appreciative of these beautiful cams and all that they offer us. Oh, we have our weaver's nest. Now, elephants, I have seen elephants knock down weaver nests very often. Oh, seem a little bit excitable. I wonder if there's another elephant around. It's not just when other elephants are around that you can be excitable in such a way. And of course, you all know what I'm referring to. But also, any other animals that can get you a little bit irritated, it can be associated, of course, with a huge elephant erection like we see right here, which I think is a great way to end off 2022. Oh, Bluebird, you say thanks for everything and a Merry Christmas from Texas. Oh, this is wonderful. I'm going to try my hand at this. I think this is Valentina. I think so. It's in Cyrillic. Sharova. Valentina Sharova, you say hello from Ukraine. Very beautiful. I'm so glad that you can join us and get this little slice of African wildlife in Ukraine. And so glad about that. Doreen Ferdinand, you say beautiful. It is beautiful. And then we have Suki V that says, thank you, Trishala. Have a good break and be safe. Thank you all for joining us. So like I said at the beginning, this is our last show together for 2022, but I will see you again next year, and I really do wish you all a beautiful, safe, happy, full of smiles, sunshine, and snow, depending on where you are. All those wonderful things for the rest of the year. I hope that you get to spend time with friends and family and loved ones, pets, the cams, whatever it is that brings you joy. I hope that you get to spend lots of time doing that. And I look forward to seeing you again next year. And also, we and Africam, we would like to say thank you. Thank you all for constantly supporting us, for giving us your questions and your comments, being so involved in what we do and showing such appreciation for what we do. Because it's an audience like you that keeps us going, that inspires us and motivates us. So thank you very much. It's time to say goodbye. All the best, everybody, for 2022. I'll see you in 2023. Thank you for all your questions and comments and spending this time with me. See you next year. Bye for now.